Today's topic of discussion is haram relationships. Now, unfortunately, haram relationships has become widespread in society. It's effectively a degenerate evil act which only evil people indulge in. So the first point is fornication. Now, the word fornication, you don't even hear it nowadays. People don't even know what the word fornication means. Fornication means sex outside of marriage. Now, men and women are fornicating with one another. They're effectively sleeping around with each other, and it's outside of marriage, so it's immoral, dirty behavior. That's what fornication is. Second point is it's abnormal. It's abnormal behavior. So in the last 100 years, boyfriend and girlfriend terms have been used, but in the previous generations before that, it was never heard of. The terms boyfriend and girlfriend were never heard of. It was only husband and wife. So any people who were caught in society fornicating with one another and sleeping with each other outside of marriage, it was very abnormal. It was dirty, immoral, dirty behavior. So in today's society, that's seen as normal because there's a lack of spirituality, there's a lack of God-given purpose, there's a lack of masculinity. So that's the next point over here. So when it comes to lack of masculinity, so masculinity, men of value and men who are excelling in all arenas, so mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, they don't indulge in haram relationships. They know that within themselves it's a dirty, immoral behavior, and they're somebody who has respect for themselves. So masculinity goes back to principles and boundaries, and they won't break their principles and get into a haram relationship. If you get into a haram relationship, it shows that you're breaking principles and you're breaking your masculinity there. So pretty much a majority of society who are getting involved in haram relationships and getting involved in boyfriend-girlfriend relationships, their issue is the lack of masculinity. Lack of masculinity, because if they were a masculine man, they wouldn't be getting into haram relationships. Next point is childhood. Now, from the movie industry to the music industry to social media, it's normalized haram relationships. Now, this is stemmed into a childhood where you're seeing on the movies from as young as like 3 years old, 4 years old, 5 years old, that these men and women are getting into these relationships, boyfriend-girlfriend relationships. They're not even married. And when you're a child, you grow up and you're thinking that's normal behavior. It's not normal behavior, it's abnormal behavior, it's immoral, dirty behavior. Next point is bad seed. Now, a haram relationship, any relationship which is a haram relationship, majority of the times, it'll end up leading to, let's say if they were to get married afterwards, a lot of the times those relationships end up breaking afterwards. Studies and research, you can go research this yourself. Those kind of relationships end up fizzling out and they break up because it was built upon a bad seed. So you always want to have in mind marriage purposes. So anytime you're speaking to a guy or you speak to a girl, whoever it is, you want to have the intention of marriage purposes, that you're speaking to this person. You want to be actively filtering the person to fit your marriage requirements for a long-term basis rather than a short-term basis. Next point goes back to immoral, dirty behavior. So men of value and women of value, they don't indulge in haram relationships because they know it's immoral and it's dirty behavior. Next point is social programming. So this links back to the childhood part of it. So social programming is, you're seeing all over the internet, all over social media, that haram relationships have become the new norm, when in fact these degenerates are only pushing a godless society, and this is what the problem is. So we need to bring back halal relationships. So halal relationships, or a man and a woman halal relationship, is a husband and wife. We need to bring back that, and that needs to become the new norm in society in order for relationships to thrive and relationships to not break down. So relationships are nowadays breaking down is because a lot of them are just haram relationships, and that's what the problem is. So I hope that makes sense. We covered pretty much all those points, and I'll see you guys in the next video.